Hey everybody, Zeal Brothers here once again. Want to bring you another video. This one is about Larry Miller. Larry Miller was an executive for the Portland Trail Blazers, and then he transferred over to being an NBA executive, and then he became a leader of Nike and then the Jordan brand, and now he's back to the Jordan brand. And it just recently came out that when he was young, 16 years old, he murdered somebody else. And he was the one who brought it out. It's not something that was discovered. It's not like somebody dug and figured out the dirt on him. He revealed that he murdered somebody. He was part of a gang, and they felt that somebody from the opposite gang had killed somebody that they knew. And as a result of that, they went out and got revenge, and he was the one who killed another guy who was 18. And so this happened back in the 1970s, and now he's revealing it now. And his point of bringing that out is to fight for criminal justice reform. So this story is an interesting story because here you got a guy who's very accomplished in business. He worked at many companies, Campbell Foods, Kraft Foods. He's worked at a lot of different places and he's been successful. He's been successful in the NBA. Everywhere he's gone, he's been a success. And now here we have him coming out for criminal justice reform. This story is focusing on all the wrong things. And let me tell you why. Because when you focus on criminal justice reform, to me, it's almost, how to say it, but like this. Is criminal justice reform really what got Larry where he's at now? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Is Larry where he's at because of criminal justice? If you look at his career, and you can go on Wikipedia, and I will provide a link for that in the description of this video. When you look at Larry Miller's career, he went to prison. And while he was in prison, he got himself an education. While he applied to different places, his criminal background is what kept him from proceeding as far as he wanted to. So he started to hide that. And because he started to hide it, he started to get jobs. And a lot of people talk about the fact that somebody's criminal history will follow them their whole lives and dog them to the point that they can't proceed. So they can't be a Larry Miller. They can never be successful. We have lots of people who could be the next executives that are running some of our biggest companies in the world, but they can't because they have a criminal history, so they can never get their career started. But he killed somebody. And the question that everybody needs to ask is two things. Number one is, would criminal justice reform have created the likelihood for him to succeed without lying? Now, the answer for that is no. And the reason that I would say that is this. Larry Miller succeeded because he invested in himself. He had initiative. He had drive. And if you look at 99% of other people who have murdered, they have not gone back and had a drive to be successful in other things. This is a vast minority of people that are like this. So when you create public policy to benefit 1% or less than 1% of the people who do something, it's not a good public policy because it doesn't work for the rest of the people. In other words, you will create a policy that will unleash more and more murderers into our corporate business, and you will get less and less Larry Millers. Now, here's the thing. And this is the second thing that needs to be said. And this is a hard statement, but Larry Miller doesn't deserve to be there. And I'll say it in this way. The guy he killed didn't have that opportunity. Nobody thinks about that. People always think about the criminal. What about the people they victimized? Shouldn't there be a cost to do a great crime? If you are Larry Miller and you murdered somebody, now you still have nightmares. The reason you have nightmares is because you're still guilty. You know you can never pay back for what you did. That's why in the Bible days they used to execute murderers, because murderers can never repay for what they've done. You can never do so much good that it will justify the fact that you took somebody's life unjustified. So what Larry Miller is trying to do is he's trying to justify what he has done, and he's trying to go back and do good. But the good that you do will not balance the evil that you've done. There is no scale that can do that. And the reason for that is like this. If I steal from you today and I give you it back tomorrow, I can never give you back that time that you lost which you had that item. Every time that we do wrong, we create a debt that we cannot pay. And this is something that people miss. It is not something that I could balance. It's not like if I stole $100 from you, I could pay it back by giving you 1,000. You'll never have that $100 that you once had. You'll never have that sense of security that you had $100 and that it was yours. I have violated you and I cannot unviolate you. And because of my violation, you have suffered. And a just system will make me suffer for causing you to suffer. That's what criminal punishment should be. So when you look at somebody like a Larry Miller, while we may emotionally connect with him and understand and say, man, this is a guy who took his second chance and did the most with it, and we can commend him. But at the same time, we cannot say he deserves that chance, because what he did was so heinous that the person who he victimized did not have a chance to do what he did. They don't have a chance to succeed. They don't have a chance to have grandchildren. They don't have a chance to reveal their past sins to their children and come out and be a hero. They don't have that chance. So literally, because he committed a murder, he's now benefiting off of it. And to me, that's injustice. So a lot of people talk about criminal justice reform, and a lot of them, I'm telling you, they don't really think things through. And I will not ever be for lessening some of these crimes, the penalty for some of these crimes, for this very reason, that it does not take into account the victim. And until you have a solution that takes into account both the victim and the perpetrator, it'll never be logical. It'll never have our support.